Hello everyone, welcome to Writing Quest. My name is Brendan Pugh, and in today's episode we're going to talk about my reading list for 2022. Huzzah! Alright, so 2022 is almost upon us. I believe as of the time this video goes out, we're talking just a few days, so not too long. And I've been thinking about the books I want to read. This year I didn't read very well. I didn't make it through a lot of the things I wanted to. Some of that was I couldn't quite get into things. Other times I just didn't plan good reading time. So in this episode, we're going to talk about that list, and here we go. First up is rereading the Aragon series. I finished the first book not too long ago, so I'm in the middle of Eldest right now. Basically, I just need to finish it out because I already started it, and I've read it before. It's been quite a while, actually, since I've read the whole thing, so I'm actually getting into Eldest. I'm a little not so sure about all the details, so that's been pretty nice to get back into that. It's one of my favorites. You know, it's not crazy. It's not like this hard, complicated fantasy to understand, but it's just a really pretty good series, and you can definitely tell in book one that he was younger when he wrote it, but I know that going forward, obviously, it's, well written and it's a good story. So, gonna finish out the Aragon series. So I read Aragon, we're gonna go to Eldest, and then Brizinger, and then Inheritance. Next up, the big one, I'm going to officially and finally read the Wheel of Time series. Now, my older brother loves this series, and this one I tried to get into this last year. I tried to read the first book, Eye of the World, and I don't know. I couldn't get into it. Something about it was really tough for me I don't know if it was the type of the writing or the style. I don't know. It was just a lot, and I just couldn't quite do it. And then I watched the Wheel of Time series, which just aired its last episode not too long ago. And that got me interested enough that now I want to actually read it. And I haven't done a review on the series because I didn't feel like, because I don't know anything about it, I didn't know if I should do a review. Maybe I'll do that review later because I do have some thoughts. And I know it's been a pretty hot topic conversation about whether or not it's been a good show or not. But I'm going to read the books officially because what I felt like after I watched the series was that they could not have held a candle to the books. The books have to be better than what the show put forward. I think the show has a lot of promise and a lot of potential, but I just didn't think they hit it. And I know that the books are beloved by a lot of people, so it's got to be better. So I'm really interested, but on the flip side of that, watching the show got me interested enough, but I don't think it gave enough away because I think the books are so in-depth in the story that there's no way that they crammed that whole book into 8 episodes of a TV show. So I'm going to read The Wheel of Time. Honestly, I don't know if a year is long enough to get through the whole series. It's like 12 or 13 books that are like, massive books each one. So I know my older brother will be happy. He's super into that series and he loves it a lot. So I'll probably do a combination of reading the actual books and the audiobooks, kind of do both to get through it faster. But I also know that some of those audiobooks are almost like 40 hours long. So that's a lot of audiobook. Next, the Mistborn series. I've read the beginning of Mistborn, but I know I'm terrible. I have not read the whole Mistborn series. I think there's 2 trilogies now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Aiden loves the Mistborn series, and so I love Brandon Sanderson. I love a lot of the stuff he writes. I'm excited to get into that, and I've heard that the best part about that really is the magic system, so I'm excited about that. The question will be, can I tackle the Wheel of Time and the Mistborn books in the same year? That could be interesting to get into. So we'll see. And finally, the last one will be Star Wars, some of the new Star Wars canon. There's going to be some new Star Wars books coming out. And as you all know, I love Star Wars in particular. I'm actually a fan of the new canon. There's a few books that not so great, but I have a lot on my shelf that I just haven't read yet. Like I've just gotten them as they've come out, but I haven't gone through and read them. Some of them I've tried to read and wasn't super interested in. So I think what I'm going to do, I know January 4th is when the next High Republic book comes out. So I will go over that one for sure, do a review as we did with the other two. And I'm probably going to, I'm kind of thinking about reading it chronologically. So just starting at the beginning and reading the whole thing, including reading the books of the movies. I think that'd be cool. I've read most of those. I think, honestly, the sequel trilogy was definitely better in book form because they were able to fill in a bunch of problems and gaps that were in the movies. So I have never read the prequel trilogy as books. I've read the rest of them, but I haven't read the prequel trilogy. So there's a lot of good ones coming out this next year. There's Brotherhood, which is about Anakin and Obi-Wan. I'm excited to get that one. The Last High Republic one, of course, Fallen Star. So there's some good ones coming out. I'm excited to do that. So probably what'll happen, if I'm to guess my reading nature, is that in between Wheel of Time books, I'll probably sneak in a Star Wars book because I know the Wheel of Time is going to be so dense and the Star Wars books are going to be a little easier to digest and I can get through them a little quicker. So unless I'm like super engrossed in Wheel of Time, I probably see myself kind of splitting those up that way. I don't know. I'm going to wait to do Mistborn until after the Wheel of Time because I definitely feel like that's too much. I think my brain would explode. Would my brain explode? My brain would probably explode if I tried to do it. So I think that's enough for 2022. So we're going to get the 12, 13 books of Wheel of Time. We're going to get the Star Wars. We're going to get the Aragon. And we're going to work on Mistborn. I think it's ambitious, but I also think it's going to be great. So leave some comments below if you think there's anything that I'm missing or that I should read, or if you just want to be mad at me because I haven't read some of these books and you're like, Brendan, you're all about fantasy, and then you haven't read some of the most, best fantasy stuff that's out there. I know. I have no excuses. I don't know what to say. So anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. That'd be really great. And we will see you next time on Writing Quest. Huzzah!